There's this quote I really like by Nelson Mandela, and it goes something like, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." I feel like at times we underestimate the significance that a single person has, the effect that our free will can have on the world around us. It's like if you really set yourself to something, if you really want something to happen, it can happen, Like, I wouldn't say that history is written by great deeds or great men and women, but I would say that history has definitely been shaped by people who are trying to make a difference, people who are trying to leave behind, some legacy, or trying to make a mark on the world, or trying to do something specifically. Like, if you really, your entire life, set yourself to a specific goal, no matter how hard that goal was, you would make some amount of progress towards that goal. Because it's like there is something very powerful, there is something very indomitable about the human spirit, about our ability to just have a desire, have a goal, and to push our way towards that. It's like, it might seem a crazy idea, it might seem very out there, but my entire goal in my life, like everything I'm working towards, like everything I'm doing, is just about making the world a better place, even a little bit. And I know everyone wants to say something like that, like something where it's just like, oh yeah, sure, everyone wants to make the world a better place. But that's really something that I'm committed to. It's all I care about. I want to be an author, I want to write books. I'm doing this channel right now because I know that I could help some specific subset of the population who enjoy Minecraft and who enjoy talking about real things. And even just that right now is enough for me, like I feel like if I were to die tomorrow, having helped some amount of people would make it all worth it. And I want to just spend my life getting as close to that vision as I can, hopefully doing, speaking tours someday, like just anything to just try to help people, because that's really a goal that, I have in my mind. And I believe in the butterfly effect. I believe that if you affect someone in that deep, profound way, if you leave a positive impact on someone, they might carry that on and show that to others, and it might slowly, over the course of thousands of flaps of a butterfly's wings, change the entire course of human history. Like, it really, it really is incredible what free will enables us to do, like what you are capable of with your life. But the flip side of that is that only you can change your circumstances. Only you can be the change that you'd like to see in your life. Like, only you are able to really make that happen. It's like you have this incredible potential, and it can be very weighty because you know that you could also just as easily waste that potential if it's not properly utilized. It's like within each person's the potential to, fulfill this highest timeline, this peak version of what we were meant to be in a way. Like, not to get spiritual or philosophical at all, but there's this kind of thought experiment that I really enjoy, and it's like, imagine you get to the gates of heaven, and God is reading off your life to you, like reading off something like a list of characteristics that befit your life, and he's sitting there being like, okay, you were an Olympic gymnast, like you did this and this, you had like the most popular podcast in North America, and you stop him and you're like, that's not me, like I didn't do any of that. And God says, that's who you were supposed to be, or that's who you could have been. Like, I think everyone has incredible potential. Like, we don't all start in the same place in life, we don't all have the same skills or the same advantages or the same family and connections, but we all are human, and we all have free will, we all have time, we all have the capability to pursue those things. And just as easily, on the flip side of that, you could say that, if you were in a terrible situation, like if you were truly at rock bottom, you have to fight your way out, because nothing else is going to come along and change that. Like, if you want the world to change, if you want your life to change, you have to be that change. You have to be the change that you want to see in the world. If you want to have better relationships with those around you, if you want people around you to be happier, if you want to make a positive impact on the people that you care about and who care about you. It's like, we like to, put all of these things out into the universe, say like, yeah, I don't have control over this, like, it sucks that you're going through this, like, there's not really much I can do, but there's always something, there's always at least trying. There's always, like, better than just, saying whatever, I have no control. It's like, you could be, a 14-year-old kid, and you could still, make a massive impact in your community if you really wanted to. It's just that most people don't really care. They're not really driven to do those things. But I think it's worth recognizing, whether or not you decide to exercise this free will, you are capable of changing lives. You are capable of doing incredible things. It's like you could start, visiting all the elderly people in the nursing homes, just building a relationship with these people who are about to die, like asking them about their life, learning their lessons, their biggest regrets, making them feel better about what's to come and their life and everything they went through. You could, go and do acts of service for homeless people. Maybe you don't have money to give them, but at least sitting down and talking with them, helping them like share ideas, maybe give them some contacts, maybe helping them go talk to a restaurant owner down the street and see if they could maybe line something up to get him a job. It's like things like that. If everyone had that attitude where they knew, like, I can change the world, one day at a time, I can make the world a better place. I can, affect my own life and steer this ship towards the future I want for myself. It's like that is a very important mindset to have because it is incredibly true. Like, we are all blessed to have that ability, that we truly do have free will. Like, if where you're going to be in 50 years, the major determiner of that is your decisions and your actions. Sure, there's always things outside of your control. That's a part of life. Like, the US could go to war with China and I could get drafted tomorrow. But that doesn't mean that in any situation, even that, I won't maintain the same attitude. Like, if I was drafted to, go fight in Taiwan or whatever, I'd still try to make the best of it. I'd still try to raise the spirits of my bunkmates and, try to help people and try to give humanitarian aid as I'm fighting this war, I feel like I'm getting off on a little bit of a tangent, but I mean to say that, like, in almost any situation, you have a choice on how you're going to perceive the world, how you're going to control your own internal locus of control. I said control a lot. And, how you're going to try to move in a specific direction. Even if it's not physically, even if it's just emotionally, like how you decide to see something and wanting to have a better perspective. Like when Viktor Frankl says that, choice is the last of human freedoms, it doesn't always mean it's a physical choice. It doesn't always mean he can choose to not be in a concentration camp, but he means he can choose how he perceives the world. He can choose how he can act to some extent within those circumstances, how he can choose to be kind to those around him even when he is immensely suffering. And I think that is the power that we are uniquely endowed with. And, whether it's by God or whether it's just in virtue of us being an incredible species that has developed, over the course of millennia with this unique, like, powerful capability of choice, there's a lot to be said for that. Our ancient ancestors, they had to believe in themselves in that way. They had to control their own fate, and they had to be the change they wanted to see, or they would starve to death, It's like, I read this book series a lot where it's sort of this, like, lineage of these, South American, like, traditional beliefs, and this anthropologist goes and studies them, and they have sort of this saying that I really like, and it's, like, in life, you have to be an impeccable warrior. You have to fight for this highest timeline. You have to fight for where you want to be, and you have to exercise the utmost discipline, the utmost, like, respect for what's going on, and the respect that death is always looming. Whether or not it's physically going to kill you, or whether or not it's just going to take you further and further away from where you want to be, like make you more unhealthy, make you more complacent, or docile, or content with your circumstances and stagnant. It's like any of those things. It's like, really, whether we realize it or not, we're always making a choice, and that's whether to go backwards or to go forward, because stagnation is death. Like, if you're a soldier on the battlefield, staying in one place will get you killed. So it's like you have to be moving forward, or you're inevitably moving back. You're moving further to the clutches of the Reaper, in a way. Maybe not in a literal sense, maybe it's not going to kill you, but it's almost worse that it can make you waste your entire life because you don't have enough of a perspective around your own ability of control and your own ability to change the world around you. It's like, dream big enough that you can change the entire world, that you can become the best at whatever you want to do, you can achieve every dream you could ever fathom, because I promise that you have that potential. And if you have that potential and you fall short, it was only for lack of trying. Because if you have the potential, you can do it on the highest timeline. You can do it with the most amount of effort that was possibly able to be put into that specific thing. Okay, I'm kind of just ranting at this point. I don't even know if I'm making sense, but this bridge is absolutely beautiful. We've made a lot of progress. I think this place looks awesome, to be honest. Like, think that next we're going to start building on, the mainland over here, and it's going to be cool. Also, this sign is totally wrong. But yeah, so I guess I'll see you guys next time. We're going to build on this mainland over here. The bridge is looking nice. I might terraform the island a little bit. We'll see. But yeah.